Hi, everybody. I'm a little bit early, so I'm trying to get everything set up. So just bear with me just a second here as I get everything going. Um, Let me see here. Hopefully that's going to work. I'm a few minutes early, so I'm just going to tell you a little bit about us, and then I'm going to go ahead and start over, okay? So just hold on and bear with me, all right? Um, let's see here. Tonight I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things, so I just want to let you know that we are with the, tonight you're joining Ask the Provider as we go live, and we're going to be talking about the Residential Home Care Network and what we do and how we can help when you're looking for the right place for mom or dad to find a loving place for your seniors. Now for tonight, during our Ask the Provider, our topic this evening will be about a delicate topic, and it's about funerals and cremation and what to expect and where to look, and also some of the different information a lot of people don't know about it. Now, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to share with you just a little bit of information about our group. With our group, I'd like to say good evening and welcome to the Residential Home Care Network live presentation of Ask the Provider. First off, thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Carolyn Pagel, and for the next 30 minutes, I'll be talking about several things. And first off, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Residential Home Care Network. We are a nonprofit group of 16-bed and under family care homes and assisted living facilities, and we provide personalized care for the Florida families in the private home setting. The adult family care homes are licensed within the state of Florida, and they house up to 5 residents at a time. And one of the best parts about the adult family care home is the owner of the facility lives on the property with the seniors. I personally own one. My facility is the Retreat of Winter Garden, hence we live in Winter Garden. And I can tell you the best part about doing what I do is I have the ability to see little changes in my residents every day. So if something's off, I know firsthand right away. I don't have to count on my staff telling me that something's off. Now, like the adult family care home, the assisted living facilities in our group are smaller. They're 16 beds or less, and they're so much more personal than those large facilities. As you already know, some of the large corporate facilities, they tend to be understaffed. The residents always don't get the care that they so rightly deserve, and the turnover is constant, unfortunately. So these residents end up having a different caregiver every day. So like us that have the smaller facilities, we can see the difference if something's going on. Even if it's just they're a little down or depressed that one day, we know something's off, so we know to be prepared. To go in and kind of talk with them, see what's going on. A lot of times in the big facilities, they tend to get a little bit lost. I'm proud to say our residents enjoy the services delivered by caring, compassionate professionals. The families enjoy also knowing that they have peace of mind, knowing that their loved one's getting that one-on-one attention that they need, and it's so much different than the large facilities. They get the support as well as the family gets support. If something goes wrong in one of these adult family care homes or these small assisted living, we're on the phone to the family right away to let them know, because we see the changes or we see something's going on. One thing I'd like to brag about our group is we started out with just about a little more than a year ago, and it was just Orange and Seminole County. Well, now we're growing by leaps and bounds. We are Orange, Seminole, and now we're Lake County, Osceola County chapter, and soon, within this year, we're going to be in Marion County as well. So it's really exciting that we're growing as fast as we're growing. People are seeing the need for the differences, seeing the need for something that offers more to our seniors. And as we have the baby boomers, and I'm one of the tail end of the baby boomers, it's good to know that we're out here and we can make a difference. We're not like one of these giant facilities that we're just another number, that mom or dad's going to get lost in. Now, like I said, we've grown to 3 chapters. One thing I do want to tell you is it's important to let you know we have every month on the first Thursday of every month, we have a meeting, and I'd love to invite every single person that's on this site and anybody that you'd like to bring along with you. We hold the meeting at the One Senior Place in Altamont Spring. It's the first Thursday of every month, and it's from 12:30 until 2:30. The members of our group, they're free, so it's free to come if you're a member already. If you'd like to join us and you're not a member, please come anyway. It's $10, and that covers your lunch. And we always have a great conversation. Usually it starts out with just the first 30 minutes we talk about what's going on within our facilities, any ideas, anything that's changed, anything that they've heard that may pertain to us and that we'd like to find out more about. And we talk about it while we're having our lunch together. Now, try to make sure I got all my papers right. I don't want to miss anything. But I do want to invite anybody and everybody that has the opportunity to come out on the first Thursday of every month to come and join us. You'll be so glad you did. You'll get to meet so many other people that are doing the same thing, and you'll get to meet different caregivers throughout the different areas of all of, like I said, Orange, Seminole, Lake, Osceola County. And if you hear of somebody that may be looking for something, this will be the perfect time to meet the owners so they can tell you about their facility. You can also go online to the website that you're signed on here, and you can look at all of the past videos that we've done and find out more about each one of the facilities that are our Premier members. We all have, as a Premier member, one of the benefit is you can put together a little slideshow. If you don't know how to, just let us know and we'll help you put one together, or we can put it together for you. And it'll be talking about the slideshow is just nothing more than pictures of your facility, of you interacting with your residents, and show yourself off. And then those that aren't members but are just looking to find out more about our group, come check us out. Look at our different videos. See what each one of us have to offer to see if it's going to be the right fit for the senior that you're thinking about. Now, the web address to look for is www.residentialhomecarenetwork.org. And then, of course, you can go on the Facebook page, and that's facebook.com/ I guess it's /AFC Orlando /. And this is where all of our feeds are also online, so you can look at those. Now, what we're going to talk about tonight, it's a tough topic, and for me it was kind of, I had to go in and do a little bit more research, even though I've dealt with it before. Tonight we're going to be talking about funerals and also talking about cremation. And as I said, this is a very touchy topic, but it's something in the industry that we're in, it's something that we need to talk about. Just this week I went over and I met with my my pastor, and he provided me some extra information. Oh, yes, thank you. Our email, if you have any questions and you want to email us, you just email us at asktheprovider@gmail.com, and we'll get back with you as fast as possible. And now, as I said, as for tonight, we're going to be discussing the funeral homes and things that you need to be aware of, things that you should take to heart and realize that are stuff that you don't see coming. When I went over and I met with my pastor, he was nice enough to give me a little breakdown of different things. Cremations are different than, of course, the funerals, but when you decide whether you decide to go with a funeral or whether you decide to go with a cremation, there's different price lines. And I found out myself, they have, my husband was passed away 5 years ago, and at the time I didn't know anything at all about any of it. So I decided that, well, I knew he wanted to be cremated, so I just picked up the phone and dialed the first one and called him, went over, met with him, took care of everything, signed the little contract, paid the bills, and then when I got done, I found out after the fact that we couldn't do a viewing. We had, it was a disposal, a cremation disposal company, so you couldn't actually do a viewing, or you couldn't, there was no way that they could do that. So I had to change gears because I knew that I, for one, wanted to have a viewing, but I wanted to also offer that to other family members. I didn't feel it was fair to not offer that to them. So now, as for pricing for these, they run in different pricing packages, and I tell everybody, please go and look, do your homework, find out what's going to work best for you, pricing-wise, because with these, they run anywhere from $700. They can go up to $1,200 and $1,800. The cremation disposal, they pick up the body, they take them, and then the ashes are presented. All you have to do is pick out the urn that you're going to use for the cremation ashes. Now, funeral homes, that's a whole different ballgame. With the funeral homes, you have so many different funeral homes to choose from, but there's a lot of different things that you're going to want to think about when you're doing this. With the funeral homes, they have so many options. The first thing you're going to have to go in and do is you're going to have to find out if you haven't already had the discussion. And I want to right now, before I get sidetracked, I used to work with a hospice company, and we had what we called 5 wishes. I recommend everybody go out there and find the 5 wishes. If you have a facility, please have them available in your facility for your family members so they can fill them out. My husband and I had filled ours out. I knew what he wanted, he knew what I wanted. So when it came time, I knew he wanted to be cremated. I also knew that he was a cigar smoker and he wanted his ashes in his humidor. So that's where they went. And those were his choices. But the 5 wishes that VITAS actually offers 5 wishes, and with the 5 wishes, they give a breakdown of, say something happens and you end up in a comatose state. Do you want to have tube feedings? Do you want to do you want to stay like that? And it breaks it down easy by step with basic, simple questions to how and what you want in case something happens to you. And as I said, I lost my husband. He was killed in a car accident at 56 years old. I figured he'd be here. He used to brag about he was going to outlive me by 40 years because of my bad habits and how he was so good. Well, surprise, surprise, I was very blessed to have that paperwork that we'd already filled out. And then I had it filled out and he had his filled out. So when the family started asking questions, they saw that he had already had his, what he wanted. So there was no confusion. And that's something that you can sit in your chair at home and sit down and discuss these things. And you don't even have to talk to anybody. You can just fill it out on your own. But now, going back to what our topic is tonight, the topic that I had planned to talk about about the funeral plannings and the checklist, and what you need to make sure. The first thing you're going to have to do is check out the different funeral homes that are out there. There are so many, and you see them advertised, you see them on the corner. And the cremation, it's called a direct depositor. Now those, you can get a direct depositor for as low as $795. And it's basically, they pick up the body, they do the cremation, you pick up the ashes in the urn that you've chosen. Now a funeral home is different. With a funeral home, if you do a cremation, they offer you the ability to have a viewing, visitation, actual funeral services right there. And you can do pictures and everything, a little memorial service, which is a wonderful option. Now, say you choose a funeral home and you want to go that direction. There are so many out there to choose from. The average, after doing a little bit of research, I found some numbers, and the average cost for the basic adult funeral service, and this includes the casket, runs right around $7,000. Now, the cost of the regular basic service depends on what type of casket, but then it adds up prices also. Say you decide that you want a concrete vault. It's not required, but a lot of people say they'd rather be sealed in a concrete vault, and their casket inside that. Or maybe you want a mausoleum. Everything that you add on, the prices add up to all of this. Now, depending on the cost of the funeral, there's some other factors that you'll want to consider. One, for those choosing a burial service, there's also the cost of the gravesite. Or, like I said, the cost of the mausoleum tomb, and that is also another cost. And there's other things that you have to think about if you're going to do a funeral. I know when my grandmother passed away, we knew she was going to pass away. And she set me down and she said, Carolyn, you're going to have to find my green suit. You have to have the certain brooch that I wear on with my green suit. My hair, you have to make sure my roots are touched up. She always had beautiful red hair, so I had to make sure her hair was completely done. And then I had to have her makeup done. So I had to have a hairdresser come and do it. I had to have a cosmetologist that came in and took care of her. But then there was also other expenses that you just don't think about. You have to have the obituary. Well, there's a fee for some of those if it's more than just a little line or two. And then you have to write the obituary. Most of your funeral homes will sit down and they will help you write this. And they'll ask you questions. They've got a form. And it's just, they ask you questions and then they fill them in. Then you have to think about, well, a limousine service. Do you want to ride in a limousine behind the hearse? How many people do you need to have a limousine for? How much can you afford if you're going to have that? Then you have to think about, well, if you're going to do a chapel service, are you also going to do a gravesite service? A lot of people want to do both. So these are all, they're all a cost to all of this. It's not cookie cutter. And then you have to start thinking there's markers. So you're going to have a marker date because you can't right away put a headstone up. And then there's the cost of the headstone. Do you want a little flat headstone? Do you want a giant headstone? What headstone do you want? These are all things that all contribute to the cost. And then you have to, if there's insurance involved, Then you have to have copies of the death certificate. I remember they were telling me when my husband passed away that I required that to cover everything that I needed to have 7 copies of the death certificate. Each one of the death certificate was like $12 a piece, and it just click, 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 and the dollars just kept adding up. And then you have to think, well, if you're going to have a funeral service, are you going to have pictures? So maybe you want to have a large poster picture of your loved one that's passed away. Or maybe it was a husband and wife that now the wife has gone on and you've got mom and dad and you want their anniversary picture. These are all costs that do add into all of this. And then you have to think, are you going to need a musician? Maybe somebody to play the violin or play the piano. This is another cost. Then you're going to have to talk to somebody and make sure that you've got the pastor involved, or a priest, your preacher, whoever it is that you want to come and say, say what they have to, what you want them to say. What is in their last wishes? What did they want? Did they want a large party afterwards? These are another cost that goes all involved in this. I'm not quite sure where my time is running, but because it won't show me on my phone as I'm doing this. But now, as for your funeral, you're also going to have to worry about the location and the time, and they give you time frames. You're going to have to contact the family members to let them know. You're also going to have to decide about the flowers. Do you want a casket spray? Do you want a lid arrangement on top of it? Will there be standing sprays that are going to be involved? These are all specialty pieces that go along with it. I know when my grandmother had hers, she wanted white roses, and she wanted those, and she wanted each and every one to throw a white rose in on top of her as they lowered her casket. And I see you're asking, and then there is the repost. That's right. If you want to look at some of the other items that we've posted online, please go to our website, which I said before, which is the www.residentialhomecarenetwork.org, and look at some of our past posts. And you can look at some of these as well. Now, as I said, I'm going to just kind of flash this up and show you. This is, I don't know if it'll show it to you right way or not. This is 5 wishes, and this is kind of what it looks like. And it's such a simple document. It breaks it down to so easy. And I recommend any and everybody, especially if you have a facility, to please make sure that you have a copy of the 5 wishes available for your family members if they don't. If they don't have this information. And now I want to tell you a little bit about one of our providers that works with us. This is an awesome opportunity, especially if you have residents that they need to get their blood work. So I'm going to tell you tonight about Z-Stick Home Draws. This is a company that many of us within the Residential Home Care Network utilize. It is a free home draw service, and what the best part about this, I love it, you don't have to go to the doctor or you don't have to go to the lab to get your blood work done. They come to you. It's all about you. And the best part about them is, say you have your residents, and say, for example, I'm diabetic. Your doctor says, okay, we want a fasting blood draw. So that means in the morning, I can't have my coffee. Say my residents, they need a blood draw, they need a fasting. They like to sleep in. I can call Z-Stick Home Draws, and they'll be here at the time that I want them to be here. They'll come in while my resident's still in the bed resting, and they'll come in and do the blood draw, and right at the bedside. My resident doesn't have to worry about missing out on breakfast or having to wait in a waiting room and take a number or schedule an appointment. And their family members they don't have to worry about taking time off from work to take their loved one over. I see you've already posted it on here. I was getting ready to say that. Just get your prescription, and all you have to do is call 407-704-8906, like she's got posted here, 407-704-8906, and they'll be glad to come and take care of it. There's no out-of-pocket charges. You don't have to leave the comfort of your home. You can sit right there in your pajamas and have your coffee. The minute they get done, you can drink your coffee first thing in the morning. And like their slogan says, if you don't try it, it passes you by. If you don't try, it passes you by. So give it a shot, because I guarantee you it's going to be something that's really going to make your life easier. Your life at the facility, it'll also make the family member's life a whole lot easier. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my place, if I have a half a second. The best part, I started my facility. I opened in January of last year, and the day I opened my first door, or opened my door, my first resident came in. They had followed me from a large facility that I managed, and they wanted something different for their family member. I am a small adult family care home, and I have license for 5 residents in the home, and right now I currently have 1 room available. It can be a shared room or it can be a private room. And I'm only going to do 3 or 4 residents. While I'm maybe licensed for 5, I only want 3 or 4. And that's just what I choose. I live here in the home. I am a nurse, and the name of my facility is the Retreat of Winter Garden. We are located on the Winter Garden Vineland Road, just less than 2 minutes from the Florida Hospital of Winter Garden and the Winter Garden Village. We're about 3 minutes from downtown Winter Garden, which is a wonderful place to go. My residents love to go down there and have ice cream at Scoops. We stay very busy with our activities. We're always off and gone. We go to the Jesse Brock Center, and we do our chair aerobics on every Tuesday and Thursday. We have outings. We have spa and nail days. And I was licensed in May of last year, and I'll tell you, being a nurse, it's the best thing I've ever done. I can see my residents, and if my residents look a little off, like I said before, I know something's wrong. Last spring, I had a resident. I knew every morning she usually got up. I went in, I woke her up, and when she rolled over, her hand was cupped. I instantly, as a nurse, that was a sign of a stroke. I poked an aspirin in her and run her in the car and got her down the street, got her into the hospital, and sure enough, she was having a little mini stroke. And the doctors were saying, "How did you catch that so fast?" As somebody that runs one of these, our providers, like myself, we see when something's off, and that means we can go and we can talk to the family right away and tell them something's going on. We can let them know if they're a little depressed, or maybe they're excited about something. You know, it's so great to see the excitement when they know their family's coming in from out of town to visit. Now, I just want to cover just another minute or two and tell you the difference between the adult family care homes and the assisted livings that are in our network. There's not a lot of different. We have the adult family care homes have 5 beds that they're licensed for. The provider or the owner, like myself, live in the home with them. Now, the assisted living facilities, they are 16 bed or less. And they, again, are a home-like atmosphere. The best part about being in these is they have their own bedroom, but then they have their own living area. So here at my facility, you can bet at 5 o'clock, the news is on. They all talk about the news. And then at 6 o'clock, then you're getting ready for the different things that are coming on. And at 7 o'clock, it's Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. Hi, Z-Stick, welcome. We were just talking about you. I'm so happy that you've joined our group. I'll tell you what, the next time I have a lab draw, you're definitely going to be the one that needs to get out here to my house, that's for sure. And as I was saying, one more thing before I forget, I want to remind everybody, the first Thursday of every month, One Senior Place in Altamont Spring is the place to be. We have our monthly meeting every single month. Hi, how are you doing? We have our monthly meeting every month, and it's from 12:30 until 2:30. If you come for our monthly meeting, if you're a member, there's no cost. If you want to bring somebody along with you, there's a $10 fee for non-members, and with that $10 fee, it provides lunch. And as I said, it's a fantastic organization to get involved with. You couldn't ask for a better group of people. We all work together. So say you're full and you don't have any more room in your facility, we talk to each other. We say, hey, I just got a phone call and I talked to somebody, and they have an available room. As I said, I have one room available in my home. It can be a private room or it can be a shared room. And I know that everybody in the network, if they hear somebody that's looking for something on the west side of Orlando, they're going to call me. Now, I'm going to ask you once again, I'm just going to remind you, if you have any questions, please write to us at asktheprovider@gmail.com. Give us a call. We'll be happy to help you out with anything that you have questions on. Again, it's our website is www.residentialhomecarenetwork.org. And you have an update. There's another number, 347-480-0688 is for Z-Sticks. If you have any questions, please give them a call. Now, as for asktheprovider@gmail.com, please write us your questions. We'd love to hear. If there's a topic out there you want to talk about, just give us a call. Tonight, I did talk about a tough subject of funerals and cremation. It's a tough topic, but unfortunately, in the business that we're in, it's a topic that we do have to discuss. And as I said, I definitely recommend everybody has 5 wishes. You can go online and just Google 5 wishes, and you can go ahead and purchase them online, or if you have Vitas in your home or another hospice provider, talk to them, ask them for copies. I think it's one of the best things that you could ever do for your families and for your residents. I know, like I said, I was a hospice nurse before I started this business, and I worked hospice for quite a long time. And my husband and I both had filled them out because I promoted them with Vitas when I worked for them, and we had filled them out. We'd never had that discussion before, and I'm so glad we did because, like I said, he was killed in a car accident 5 years ago. Had we not had that conversation, I don't know if I'd have known what to do, but as well as be able to tell his family what they needed to do, that I was doing what he wanted to have done. And still to this day, that man is in his humidor just like he wanted. He was cremated. His ashes are in his humidor, and he has his own little memorial in my house. And I know he's happy sitting there with his cigars. That was just who he was. And I want to tell everybody thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know I've rattled on a little bit more, but I don't have a clock, but I'm looking over here at one across the room. I want to say thank you again for joining us. Please go to our website, check out our website, and let them know to join us every week. We're here every Thursday at 6 o'clock. I invite everybody that's a member to try this. It seems a little hard at first. The first one I did, I actually ended up being in a parking lot of my daughter's school, being eaten alive by mosquitoes, but we got it done. And each time you do these, it gets a little bit easier. And I want to tell everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I look forward to seeing everybody at the next meeting, so please come, see what's going on at our board meeting. Like I said, Senior One place up in Altamont Springs, first Thursday of every month from 12:30 to 2:30. So thank you so much for joining us, and I'm going to say good night, and everybody be blessed. Bye-bye.